You are listening to The Plot with a Twist, where we discuss all things books and booze. We are your bookish hosts, Ro, and
Alora.
if you like what you hear, please like, share, subscribe, and give us a quick review on your podcast app. It helps us become more visible to other bibliomaniacs. We publish bookish episodes each week on Wednesdays, so be store. We publish bookish episodes each week on Wednesdays, so be sure to stay tuned for discussions and attitudes that are lit.
As readers, we love to immerse ourselves in the world of books. We long to be the person to read that amazing new book first, to be there when it takes off and be able to say, first ones to read this. So, how do you become this person? What do you need to do to be able to get yourself a copy of the next big thing before everybody else? Today, we're going to talk all about ARC and beta reading. Grab yourself a pen, paper, or a laptop and mix the drink that inspires you. We'll tell you how to become part of one of these amazing teams, our best practices that we use, what apps and sites are worth looking at, and the do's and don'ts of the reviewing world. Okay.
We're back.
We're
again.
back. Okay. So to start us off, when did you first get involved in ARC and beta reading?
For me, it was like 5 years ago. I was really late to the party. I started joining all these book groups on Facebook, and all of a sudden it was all this, I'm after ARC readers. And I had no idea, no clue what it was. I was that person that was like, what's an ARC reader?
So I think we should back up for just a second and tell everyone who doesn't know, an ARC reader is somebody who reads an advanced reader copy. That's what ARC stands for. And it is a copy that is given out before the actual book releases. Beta reading, on the other hand, is where the book is finished, it's been edited, it's polished, but you need a group of readers to give constructive criticism and also be hype people for you. You find beta readers to see how readers are receiving the book, what's working, what maybe not working, what you could maybe change a little bit before it goes into the ARC stage.
Yeah, so the betas are the ones that'll be like, the flow from this section to this section didn't go very well. You might need to tweak that a little bit, reword it, or you're missing a phase or something like that. Where your ARC readers, you will get pretty much the finished copy. There may be a tiny few grammatical errors or even spelling mistakes and stuff like that. And then basically you give a review, an honest review. So
Right.
I kind of, I was like, oh, really? You can do this? Oh my God.
That's so
So
funny.
I signed up for everything I bloody well could. Every time an ARC came out and if it sounded like something I'd want to read, I was like, yep, me, I'll do that one. And
That's
that
so
was how I
funny
got into
because
it.
your story makes me feel like a dinosaur.
Yeah, it was only 5 years ago.
So years ago, circa 2010, I had a book review blog. It was called the Literary Mind Blender. I know I'm so creative. But anyways, this was before the days of Instagram and TikTok. We had Facebook, but that was about it.
That was
And
it.
and so to get reviews for books, there was a lot of book review blogs where that's all that it was ARC and beta reading. So I was too poor to afford books. And I was like, how can I still read? But I'm too poor to buy the books. So I decided, okay, I'm going to start this book review blog. And it actually grew to be quite large. I ran a team of 6 women. And back then, the ARC readers had more, I don't want to say, but they kind of did, because when you ran a book review blog, you would put up your criteria of the genres you would accept, what your timeline looked like for an accepted ARC review. So say somebody submitted an arc and you were like, okay, we'll take this on, but our timeline is 6 months or it's whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't necessarily depend on the release date of the book, though most book review blogs back then did try to get the reviews out before the book released, the actual copy released. So that's how I got into it. And beta reading, I actually got involved in probably a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I've not done many. I've done a lot of arcs, not many beta reads. I've done a couple, but not a lot. I prefer the arcs.
I am so critical of my own writing. So I try to be very careful and conscious about how I approach a beta read because I always want the criticism to be constructive and
Yeah.
not just, what are you doing here? Do you know what I mean? Like, definitely don't do that. That's a don't.
That's a don't. We'll get to the don'ts later on.
Don't be
don't
a-
do that. Don't be a douchebag.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So what is so exciting about being involved in these reads?
I think it's the thrill of possibly reading the next big thing, right? So
Yeah, it is.
everybody wants to find that diamond in the rough or that needle in the haystack that just blows your socks off.
Yep.
But it's also exciting to give an artist who paints with words a chance to put themselves out there because every writer who writes a book, writing is hard. Writing a book, completing a book, editing a book, all of that takes a lot of time and sometimes years. And so when you do get that copy, you're holding a piece of somebody's soul. And that's huge. And I don't think a lot of people really take that to heart.
The fact that, yes, you can be on the ground floor when a big, massive book hits, but it's also about finding community as well. So
Yes.
when I joined Arc Reads, there was like side Facebook groups or side messenger chats that were created to discuss the book, or talk through things, or to, hey, look, I found this mistake or I found this grammatical error. Just the conversations that come from it, because they'll be like, oh, I found this one. And you'll see the reading process of everybody, because all of a sudden everyone's done that. I found this, I found this, I found this. And you all kind of find it at the same time. And then all the comments like, oh, someone else said it. Oh, someone else said it. I just had some really great conversations in those little side chats. I also think it's great to find new authors.
Yeah.
Like, if you're stuck reading the same stuff all the time, same authors, and you branch out and do an arc, you can find so many authors you never would have thought to even look at. And that's, I think, the really great thing about being arc and beta readers.
Yeah. And I will say, as a beta reader with the community aspect, it is so much fun because a lot of times when you beta read, you're getting a document on a drive where this group of readers is all reading the same thing and leaving comments together. It's so good because there will be a section where somebody's like, oh, my panties have just melted. And somebody else will reply with, yes, girl, this is it. And so it's very back and forth. It's good banter.
Yeah, I've had those where this could be a fuck it moment. And then the author jumps in and actually, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. This is a fuck it moment. And you're like,
yeah. So as a reader, how does doing these types of reads benefit you as a reader?
I think it helps you connect with, as I said, with the community. It also helps you understand I feel I'm a better reviewer as a whole because I've done arc reads, because I've helped someone. You've sent these messages about, hey, you missed this spelling mistake, or there's this here, or that word's wrong, whatever. And they're so grateful when you pick them up, because the last thing they want to do is put this book in that they've spent so long on into the world and then have some fucking Karen come along and be like, I'm sorry, but that word is spelt wrong. And instead of just going to the author and being like, oh, hey, this one's spelt wrong, they're like, report to Amazon or some shit. And you're like, oh, God, Karen, go away. I also think with beta reading, I felt a real sense of I've accomplished something. Like, I've helped change not
feel
change.
like you're part of the process.
Yes.
Like you've contributed to that book.
You've contributed to the book. I was like, oh, I was part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it benefits you in the long run because when you're reading, you then have so much more knowledge around the process of it and what's gone into it and spacing, pacing, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like your enjoyment of a read is so much better after you've done it.
I think it grows empathy as well for what authors have to go through.
They're not just words on a page anymore. You know all about it. And now you're kind of like, you know what? This is so enjoyable because I loved how well they did.
Well, I just meant empathetic as a reviewer, right? You're not going to be
100%.
one of those people that's going to go and just be like, this was utter trash. You just don't do that.
I try very hard not to do that. I tried very hard not to do that before in my reviews. I try very hard not to do that now. Like we've all got different opinions and that's fine. You're allowed to have a different opinion. I think constructive criticism or constructive feedback is fine.
Yes.
Just out and out slamming the book or the author. No.
Not a good
It's
look.
a no from me.
Yeah. Said variety in genres. Sometimes authors will push barriers when it comes to bending genres, and that's really fun when they do that. Also, diversity in the authors that traditional publishing doesn't promote as well or at all. So that's really great. And also being exposed to a wide variety of writing styles.
Yep.
Because sometimes you get a favorite writing style, but then when you read an ARC or a beta read, you get a writing style that you've never experienced before in that particular way. And I think that it just expands your brain.
Yeah. And I think it helps with, as you were saying, you get to introduce yourself to authors you would never have considered at all. Because, and here's the thing, it's going to sound asshole-ish but we read a blurb of a book and go, I don't know if I like it, so therefore I'm not going to get it. Where if you sign up for an ARC, you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that. Like there was a couple that I did last year and they're in my list for later on and Alora can have her little rant about them. But I went, you know what? I don't know if I'd pick that up normally, but I'm going to do the ARC and I enjoyed them. I just, your look at your face. You know the ones
I know exactly which books you're talking about.
But I picked them up. Is it my cup of tea? Completely no. Would I go out of my way to read something like that? No. But did I enjoy those books? Was I having the best time reading them? Yeah, absolutely.
So where is a good place to start looking for ARC and beta reads?
So, as I said, I did all of mine on my original ones on Facebook, all the Facebook reading groups, because authors are in those. If you like a specific author, then their Facebook group, you'll find a lot of it goes up there. Social media is a big one. Facebook's probably more so than anywhere else, but authors' websites, TikTok, their Instagrams, anywhere, their link trees have all got their ARCs if they're doing them. We're both now on NetGalley. That is a great one.
NetGalley is what was predominantly used for ARC reading back in 2010. That's where you went because Facebook groups like they are now didn't exist in that capacity.
I have never used NetGalley until recently.
Really?
Yeah. And then I got onto NetGalley and I was like, apply.
Yeah, we'll talk more websites a little bit later.
But yeah, and the authors themselves, go to their websites, go to their Instagram, like their social medias, they will have them.
I also think being on social media and posting regularly about books and book reviews and book hauls and just having a Bookstagram or a book talk or a page on Facebook where you review books, I think also that attracts authors to you. So you will get unsolicited ARCs in DMs, through your email, things like that. As for beta reading, the street teams are a really good place to engage with beta reading, aside from Facebook groups and author websites. Also, going to book conventions, talking to authors, and they tell you what they're writing next. And you're like, oh my God, I have to read that. And then voila, you get
And
on
you
the
go,
beta reading team.
Laura, don't fall over. It's fine.
Oh, trust me. We'll talk about that. But
No fainting. No fainting.
I'm currently beta reading for an author, and it is so good. It is so good.
What do you look out for when you're applying for a beta or an ARC team or read? What are the things that you go for?
It has to pique my interest. So it comes to me and wants me to read, I don't know, a horror. That's a no. We're just not doing that. I don't do that. I'm sorry.
We're just not doing that.
I'm sorry. That's just not in my wheelhouse. So while I try to keep my mind open about genres, there are certain genres that I just can't do. Perks like PR boxes and stuff are nice, but that's not why I'm in it. I'm in it purely for the enjoyment of reading and helping authors. So, yeah, as long as you can pique my interest and your blurb or synopsis grabs my attention immediately, or even your premise, I'm on board. The particular beta read that I'm reading now, I got a 2-sentence premise. And I was like, when is that? I need it yesterday. As long as you can pique my interest, that's the only thing for me.
So for me, it's if I've done the author before, if I've done the author,
yeah.
Or if it's an author that I really love and I get the chance, I will 100% take it. I'm there. I also look for genre, look for blurb, and look to see if it's going to pique my interest. I also kind of look for things that I'm a bit different to you, that I wouldn't normally read. I wouldn't normally do it, but I might give this a go. Mine is just, yeah, you got to grab me. Oh, and pretty covers.
A lot of arcs don't have covers.
A lot of the ones that I've gotten because of, oh, that's pretty.
You're on NetGalley too much. That's why.
I know.
NetGalley, yes, has arcs that have covers, but most of the time, arcs don't really have covers. And like even really popular books like Fourth Wing, for example, the arc copy covers were nothing like what actually came.
They're never usually like that. But yeah, I've had a fair few through the Facebook groups where they've had covers and I was like, ooh, piqued my interest just from the cover.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a whore for pretty covers.
Yeah. Do you have to be part of a team or can you just do one-off reads or both?
You can do both or either. I've done both. So I've been part of an ARC team. I'm still actually part of a couple of ARC teams. And I've also just done one-offs. A couple of the ARC teams that I've been on, I've just been like all of a sudden sent an ARC and gone, oh, crap. Okay. Yep. I can get on that. I find that if that happens, I get a little bit overwhelmed because I wasn't expecting it. So it might not be in my timeline for reading. I could be already in the middle of a book. I could already have a couple of arcs lined up. I am part of another couple of ARC teams where they will put the call out and go, hey guys, we're going to have an ARC release. Who wants to jump in on this one? Which I prefer.
Yeah, I sign up for those. I don't sign up for the just random sending of arcs.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like I just get this random arc pop into my inbox and I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I'll get on that. And when's it out? Oh, it's out in like a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever the timeline they usually send them out in. And I'm like, crap. And I've also done just the solo. Just, oh, I've seen that. Oh, I might sign up for that. Because a lot of the time the authors will have on their sign up sheets whether you want to join the team or whether you just want to do the arc. You don't have to. You can pick one or the other. Currently for me, I just prefer getting individual just because we have too much going on, you and I.
Yes, we do. I was on a street team probably 2 years ago for Claire Butler for her series To Reclaim a Kingdom. I arc read for that. And I was on the street team because I really enjoyed the book. And so I wanted to promote, like I wanted to help. Right now I'm on Alexandra Banks' street team. She does contemporary cowboy. I pick and choose the street teams very, very cautiously, carefully, and also I never am in more than one because I just can't keep up. Like I have so much going on.
And that's just it, right? Because with the street teams, you're making, and here's the thing that pisses me off, and I'm sure it pisses a lot of authors off. If you sign up for a street team, you sign up to not only read that book, but you sign up to help promote it. And you've got to make the commitment to do that. It's got to be a commitment. You can't just leave that author stranded.
One of the really great things about the street team I'm on right now, Alexandra Banks street team. So it's based on a point system. So each week she will post social media things to share. And because it's a pretty large group, the person at the end of the month who has posted the most, because you get 5 points for this, 5 points for that, et cetera, they will get a PR box with a physical copy or swag or goodies or something like that. I think doing it that way takes the pressure off having to promote every single thing that they produce because they produce a lot, right? Because they're trying to market their book. And I get it. But also, people like you and I, we have podcasts, we have children, we have husbands. I'm writing my own stuff, beta reading as well. So, yeah, all that's got to fit in.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. So currently I'm not on any street teams. I have been before, but I just don't find the time in between writing the podcasts, and we've got to do the recordings, and then we've got to post our own content because we want to get somewhere with the podcast and everything. The street team for me at the moment is like, that's too much. I can't do it.
Yeah. And I don't think people realize how much goes into a podcast because it's not just sitting and talking. It's sitting and talking, and then it is the back end editing, and then it's the posting, which can take hours. Like last night, it took like 2 hours to upload the interview with Natalia Jaster. Then you have to pull clips and you have to post those on your social media, and you have to come up with static social media posts with drink recipes that we do. And so it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yes. I think we kind of bit off more than we could chew with the podcast because we were just like, hey, we'll do books and booze, right? Like sit down, have a drink. Yeah. Meanwhile, Rose sitting there last night going, what bloody drink can I get for this podcast?
Meanwhile, I'm like, I'll let you know when this is uploaded, but currently we're on 7% and it's looking like hours.
Yeah, and then I get a text message an hour later, hey, we've probably got about 30% to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, street teams are not for me at the minute, unfortunately.
What apps or sites do we use? Do we recommend?
I've jumped onto NetGalley, as I said before, and I've been using the crap out of that one.
Let me just say something about NetGalley. Okay. NetGalley is great. However, for the well-established authors, in order to get their arcs, you've got to have like a massive following.
Yeah, look, I must admit, I've only just got on NetGalley, so I don't have any. Currently, I've got 2. I applied for Caught Up.
Oh, did you?
I did. I went for it anyway. I'm like, I'm not going to get it, but you know what?
Well, you can always still apply, but the chance that they're going to give you that arc really is dependent on your social media following.
So I didn't get Navessa Allen's Caught Up arc, and I was like, God damn it. Not that I'm I was a little bit upset, but I was like, meh, move on. But yes, I think it's really good if you want to apply for books. It's quite easy to do on NetGalley. I will say though, with NetGalley, if you're wanting to read on your Kindle, because NetGalley is a website, it's also an app. You can't get the book from your app to your Kindle.
No.
You have to do it on the website.
NetGalley, yeah.
Yeah, on the website. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it on my Kindle. And then I was like, oh, God, fine. So I opened it up on the laptop and I was like, got to do it on the laptop. So I use NetGalley. I get them on email sometime. Like we've also got them on email.
I have an iPad for this reason because NetGalley app works just like Kindle app on an iPad.
What do you mean, just like a Kindle app? Yeah, I can read it on the NetGalley app on my phone as well. So for those of you that the reason Laura's mentioned that is because I'm a Samsung, she's an Apple. I hate apples. But I can 100% read it on my phone or on my tablet, exactly the same as a Kindle. But all of my tablets are taken by my children. So that's why I prefer my Kindle. Because my phone screen is just too small, right? I also use BookFunnel. I don't know if you've heard of that, but
yes.
and the BookFunnel app on your phone will allow you to send straight to your Kindle as well. They're the ones I use. What about you?
So I had NetGalley as well. I also had Booksprout, which I've used before. There's also a website. I have not used this one, but it's pretty big. So I thought it would be worth mentioning. It's called Book Sirens.
Yeah, I have heard of that. I haven't used it either.
So they are more Amazon based. Also, Facebook groups, like you've mentioned, I'm a part of Books and Bitches Down Under.
Yes, me too.
And they have their own ARC team, which I'm on. And that is one of the ARC teams that will send out like, hey, we've got this ARC, who's interested. I really like those type of groups as well.
Yeah, they're a great group. I'm not on the ARC team. I thought about it, but I haven't done it only because I have a bad habit of saying yes to all the ARCs that I can. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, shit, I'm overloaded.
Yeah, don't do that.
How do you keep track of your reads, of your ARC and beta reads?
So back in the day, it used to be an Excel spreadsheet.
I had a spreadsheet too.
That's funny. Nowadays, I don't. And the reason I don't is because I don't commit to more than one at a time. That's just me because of how busy we are. So I don't feel like I have the time to commit to taking on 5 ARC within a certain period of time. So I don't really do that. I want to give, if I'm doing an ARC read, I want to give it my full attention, or a beta read. I want to give it my full attention. Now, if there are authors submitting their ARCs, like unsolicited ARCs, that we decide to take on, or I decide to take on, I will reach out and ask, okay, what's your timeline on this? When is the book being released? From those questions, I'll decide whether I want to take it on or not.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm the same. I used to have a spreadsheet. When I first got into ARC reading, I was like, I'm just going to read all of these. But now I don't. I try to limit how many ARCs I take because we've just got too much going on. I get overloaded. I get so excited about these ARC books and I'm like, oh, that looks nice. Oh, that looks, oh, listen to that one. Oh, and then all of a sudden I've got 7 or 8 going and I'm like, oh, shit. And, you know, for some reason they'll all be due at the same time and I'll be like, oh, my God.
Freaking out.
Yeah, freaking out just a little bit. I have a couple going at the moment and I have quite a long time to get those done. So I don't keep that much. I don't have an eye on it anymore.
What is on your list of do's with these reads?
Okay. So on my list of do's is please make time to read them. Don't say you're going to do it and then don't do it.
Don't make a commitment you can't commit to.
Exactly. Leave your reviews on time. So usually the author will say to you, hey, it's, you know, releasing on the 1st of August, for example. You'll usually get it, maybe depending on the author. I've had some give it a month out. So you've got the 4 weeks to read it, or sometimes 2 or 3 weeks. They usually ask you to leave your reviews within the first couple of days that it's released. Make sure you do it. Unless they've said if your review is a 3 or below, please wait a week to leave your review.
I also just want to say too, that is generally a best practice. If you have an emergency, medical, family, or otherwise, the authors are not going to hold your feet to the fire.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good.
They're really good.
I've actually had to do that. I've actually had to email and go, I am so sorry, but everything has gotten away from me and I'm not going to be able to, like, I haven't even finished reading it. It's release day or one day past release day. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Are you happy for me to do it next week?
I've had a stroke when I was.
What do you mean? You couldn't leave a review? Why
I
not?
was like, I am
Jesus,
so
woman.
sorry.
And the author was like,
She was like, oh my God.
You're such a bitch, man. Like, God, as if you couldn't leave me the review before you just not nearly carked it. Could you hear? The author would have been like, oh shit, are you okay?
She's very lovely about it.
I can't imagine someone being that much of an asshole.
No, she's
Well,
very,
can you
very
leave it tomorrow then? Like, you had the stroke yesterday.
when my speech returns.
Yeah. When I can move my arms again. If you can't do it, obviously, let them know. Don't just
Disappear.
A stroke would have been a good reason to just be like, you know what, I'll contact you in a month's time.
Okay, saying that, I did not fake a stroke. I actually had a stroke.
She did actually have a stroke.
Okay, moving on.
I would also say interact with the author because they do like that. As much. I'm going to say this wholeheartedly. When I first started doing arcs, I was so like
intimidated.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm getting this arc from this author and they're sending me a copy before it's released. And I just went out of my head crazy. So when I got the author messaging me going, hey, how's the read going? I was just almost fell out of my chair like, oh my God.
It's so funny.
I didn't know what to say. What do I say? I even remember saying to my eldest, what do I say? Help me.
You talk to them like they're people.
She was like they're a person. Not like she can talk, right? Because she actually meets them in person and she just like... Anyway. I told you, we went to see Lauren Roberts and I'm like, did you ask her your question? She's like, no, I got scared. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, so interact with them because they do like the feedback. Do let them, and this is the other thing I had to really embrace, which I was a bit funny about, was do let them know when they've made mistakes. Don't be an asshole and be like, hey, you fucked that up. But let them know, hey, look, I think this word is spelt wrong, or this word should have been to instead of do, or because when you're typing, those keys are quite close to each other. So just let them know, say, hey, look, on page 96 up the top, this is what's happening. The word should be to instead of do, because they want that feedback. They don't want to put out this work into the world and then, yes, have a Karen gate, that's wrong. So do let them know, even if you feel weird about it, because it took me a while. The other thing I will say is do leave an honest review. It has to be honest, even if you don't like it. There was one that I didn't like. There's been a few, but I usually just let the author know to say, look, this wasn't to my liking. Again, don't be a douchebag, but this wasn't to my liking. When would you like me to leave my review? And I'll usually tell you 1 to 2 weeks after the release date, and then you can pop your review in. We're all not going to like the same things, but make sure it's honest. The other thing is just be yourself when you give your review.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It comes across weird if you try and make yourself sound different or intelligent or try and make it sound very proper. I don't know if anyone's ever seen my reviews, but my reviews are like, loved this bitch. It was awesome.
I know. I've seen your reviews.
Yeah.
I quite like them. Whereas mine are more analytical, but that's
yours are very
that's me.
But that's you though, right? And it works for you. And I think that's part of the honest part of doing a review. If it comes from your heart, whether it's analytical, whether you focus on the synopsis of the book or the prose or whatever, or if you focus on the fun times you had while reading, it just makes your review more authentic.
I try to always do reviews with pros and cons, just because not everybody has the same tastes.
Yeah.
So putting in there what I didn't like, maybe somebody would look at that and be like, oh, well, that's not a con for me. Or even in the pro column, somebody might look at that and be like, ooh, I don't know if I'll like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I always try to do some pros and cons. I agree with everything you have said. The only thing that I have to add with the beta reading is, aside from grammar and things like that, I also will put ideas out there.
Yes.
So
for beta reading, 100%.
Like, for instance, I think this particular section would be better if you swapped it down here and put this up there. Things like that, because that's why you're on their beta reading team.
Yep.
And they really appreciate stuff like that. Again, don't be a douchebag. I don't know how many times we have to say that, but I feel we have to say it a lot.
This is a subject where you have to say it a lot. While they've said, yes, you can have an advanced copy of my book, that doesn't give you the right to be a complete dick about your reviewing process or with your beta reads or your suggestions, because this is something that they've put all their time and effort into. It'd be like if your boss came back to you and went, you know, that project you did for me, well, it was fucking shit. You'd be like, I spent all this time on this and it's just shit. That's what you're telling me. So, yes, I think it's something you're going to have to say all the time.
And not only that, but also praise. Like if you're a beta reader, hype them up and highlight what you love, like what you absolutely think is slapping and working in the manuscript, because it's good to give constructive criticism, but you have to also balance that with the positive feedback as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think that
you're just browbeating someone for the sake.
Yeah, being critical. So I think that's important in a balanced measure. Aside from NetGalley, which you don't have direct connection to an author, but if you have the direct connection to the author of a beta read or an ARC read, absolutely thank them, whether it's via email, via Instagram, wherever you have access to them. Shoot them a message and say, thank you for letting me be a part of this. This was really great. And yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah. If you give your honest review, if you give constructive feedback, if hype up the things that you loved about the book, you'll find that the authors will come back to you. I actually got contacted yesterday by an author and she was like, look, you did an arc for my last book. Do you want another one? And she gave me the synopsis and I was like, yes, I will do that.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. What is on your don'ts list?
Do not be an asshole.
Do not be a douchebag.
That was like top of the list.
That's my one too. Mine's other, don't be a douchebag.
Do not take on a beta read and think that you are Siskel and Ebert. I know, I'm old. That's showing my age. But you are not a professional.
You want to give a young people reference, or are you just going to...
No, I don't have a young people reference. So back in the day, Siskel and Ebert was like, okay, so it's like Rotten Tomatoes. There you go for the new generation. There you go. They were the critics for movies back when I was a kid. And if they reviewed a movie and were like, this cinematic adventure was complete shit, everybody listened to them, right? Yeah. So, but the point is, reader, like, critic. Yeah, you're not a professional critic. So if you're not going to be helpful, and
if your mum didn't teach you to say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Right, exactly. Don't be a douchebag. Also, don't go against what the author doesn't want. So if they don't want you mentioning the book until a certain date, keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut.
If they don't want you sharing quotes, or they don't want you to post a 3-star and below review until after a certain date, respect their boundaries and guidelines.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're kind of just shitting all over them.
Yeah. And I will say that they will tell you if you ask them. So I have had times where they don't want you saying anything until release day. Like, please don't put it up beforehand. You can ask them, what do you expect from me? Especially if you do social media like we do. There are things that they want you to say and do. So yes, they could be like, don't put the review up until the release day. No, I don't want snippets out there. If you just ask, I've done it before. Hey, what am I allowed to do? They are really great. And they'll be like, you can do A, B, C, D, but please don't do X, Y, Z. And you're like, cool, no worries.
Yep. What about you? What are your don'ts?
My don'ts is don't be afraid to leave a bad review. So if you don't like it, don't lie. One, that's your credibility on the line too. And especially for people like us, we podcast, we do a lot of things with books. We talk to a lot of authors. People will find out if you're full of crap. right? We've seen that recently on social media where people have been on NatGalley or social media and not read the book and left reviews that were completely inaccurate. So in that, don't be afraid to leave a bad one. Okay. So I'm not saying come out and trash them. Like, don't do that. But I've had to contact ARCs and go, look, this was a 3-star for me. And is it okay if I leave it later? They may ask for feedback and I would say give it constructively, but don't be afraid to put it in there because, as I said, it's your credibility too. Just wait the time that they've asked you to wait. Don't be a dick about it. Don't not do the review. Like, leave it as promised.
Yeah.
And then, don't be me and don't overbook yourself.
Yes. Don't make commitments you can't keep, for sure.
Yeah. Kind of like eyes are too big for your belly. Don't bite off more than you can chew because it comes back to bite you in the ass.
Yes, it does. Any advice you would pass on to new ARC and beta readers?
Enjoy it. Ask questions and just enjoy it because the whole process is a heap of fun, I think.
Yes, I agree with that. I would say be open-minded.
Yep.
When authors come to you or when you seek out ARCs, be kind. As a writer myself, I don't think I can give less than a 2-star review just because someone sat there and poured all their time and effort into that book or that series or whatever. But that's just me because I have huge respect for, I think it's something crazy like only 1% of the people that start writing a book will finish one.
We'll finish it. Yeah.
Be kind. Be honest about what you can and can't do. Don't take on more than you can handle. You already went over that. Mm-hmm. And remember that you're reading somebody's art. They have bled their soul into what you're reading. So even if it's not for you, just let them know that it wasn't for you. Don't go for the jugular.
The only other thing I'll add is that when you're leaving your reviews, depending on where you're leaving them, Amazon are a total bitch if you need to watch what you say. I have been banned several times from Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can't swear. And even if you remotely, like, even look like you're hinting at, I don't know, freaking the last review they banned me for, I was like, you're taking the piss, right? There is literally nothing. There is 0 in that review. So, yes, 1, watch your language, which is hard for me. 2, do not say that this was an arc. Because they will 100% cut you off. If it's found, you're done. You'll get banned. You'll be on hiatus like I was. If you're going to swear or if you want to rant or whatever, Goodreads.
Yeah, Goodreads.
Goodreads is fine. But thank you for the ARC read. No, thank you for the advanced reader copy or anything like that because Amazon are dicks and they will just cut you off. Have you never been cut off before?
No.
Oh, really? Yeah, twice. My second one was for nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm more analytical.
But once I got out of the penalty box, I quite literally, my next reviews after that, I made sure I reread and watched my language. It was more critique than emotion. And the bastard still banned me. And they don't even tell you get this email saying you've breached a community guideline. And when you ask for feedback on what community guideline you've breached, they just give you, it could be a language guideline. And I can't even remember what my one was. And I was like, no, I haven't. I was going back and forth. I know I'm only talking to a bot, but I was going back and forth going, no, I haven't. So yeah, don't say thanks for the advanced reader copy because that'll get you done. And watch your language on Amazon.
Okay, then.
All right. So name some of this is a good section, right? So grab your pens and papers and listen up because these are arcs that we've done that we've absolutely loved. So give us the name of some arc or beta reads that you've done that you enjoyed.
Okay. So this one was probably one of my first arcs that I ever read. So it holds a special place in my heart for me. And it is Artemis Rising by Sherry Lasota.
Really?
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
You've read it?
I have. And it got made into a movie. You know that, right?
Are we?
Artemis Fowl. Yes, it did.
Was it, I'm going to tell you the premise, and you tell me if it was the same thing.
I'm Googling as we speak, but yeah.
So that was one of the first arcs that I read way back in 2011. It was a fantasy retelling of Tristan and Isolde. I think the Artemis Rising you're thinking of is different.
Or maybe I'm thinking of Artemis Fowl. Oh my God.
It was made into a movie.
Oh, I knew it.
But I don't know. I'm going to have to check that out. But it was a Tristan and Isolde retelling and the yearning in it. It was so delicious. I love Sherry Lasoda. I think she's great. More recently, Soul Match was something that we
Yes.
did. We're going to be doing an episode on that. It's by Rebecca Danzenbaker. It is a YA dystopian. So,
Very interesting premise, that one.
yeah, it has a super interesting premise. We are releasing the episode for that the week after the book releases. So you guys will get more detail on that. But Soul Match is definitely a really good YA dystopian.
Yeah. At the end of July.
Yes. This has been a year or so long process, but I'm also alpha reading for a friend of mine, and it's a fantasy. His writing is extremely immersive, and it's a pretty big book. So it's taking me quite a while to go through it. Alpha reading is more working on developmental edits, which is something you don't really do in beta. So developmental edits means finding plot holes, things like that.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It's all about finding the plot holes and saying you might need to plug this one. Yeah.
It's taking me quite a long time because in between there has been medical issues and everything else that's going on, podcast
And life.
and
There's
writing
been-
and life. Yeah. What about you?
I've got a whole list.
Well, you go for it.
So I have done, this one was one I did last year, and it was called Claiming His Bunny by Anna, and I am so going to get her name wrong. I can't pronounce her last name, but Claiming His Bunny, it was phenomenal. It is dark romance. It is stalker. He falls first, and he is a psycho serial unaliver. Yes.
Right.
It's amazing. I would put it across between, let's have a look. Haunting Adeline and I'm going to do Lights Out.
Okay, that's interesting.
You should really read it. It's really good. I absolutely loved it. I had laugh out loud moments in this one. It was that good. I then did The Fixer by Mae Malone. Now that I am part of her ARC team, this was a very short read, but she smacked it out the park. It was Mafia, and she's the enforcer for her family. It was really good. I also did Delectable Soul by M. Bonnet. You'd probably like that one too. Very different. It is more Irish folklore.
Okay.
Very short read, like novella size, very short read, but not what you'd expect in an ending. And I was like, love it. And this is what we talk about with feedback. I remember putting in the comments, hey, you know, you made a mistake here, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, can I just ask how are you finding it? And I went, you know what? I get what you're saying, because it's kind of a happily ever after, kind of not. And I was like, I get why you're worried, because everyone loves a happily ever after. But you know what? This is good. It's really, really good. It's different, and we don't get that often. So go for it. These were the ones. So I did two by the same author, Eternity of Horror and Descent into Darkness.
Here come the entrails.
These are by Nowhere Eternity. He is also a narrator. He does books. And yes, these are not Laura's cup of tea. So Laura read my notes. So when I do my notes on books, if I'm doing a physical copy, I'm very analytical. If I'm doing it on my Kindle, most of my comments are like, oh shit, or lol, or oh, you better run now. So she saw my annotation notes for Descent into Darkness, and because those parts are attached with my notes in your Kindle, she got to read the
Excerpts, yeah.
Yes. So they're full on pitch black, horror, splatterpunk. These are a massive check your triggers. Is it something I read all the time? No. Did I thoroughly enjoy his writing, even though I was reading it going, oh, and I will put that out there. I was 100% reading it going, I think I'm gonna be sick.
I think I'm gonna vomit.
I think I'm gonna vomit everywhere. But at the same time, it's like a car crash, right? I couldn't look away.
But I want to see how it ends.
I don't know how it ends. But
what happens to the head?
You do not want to know.
Stop. No. We're not talking. Nope.
There's actually parts with that, and you do not want to know. Anyway, but his writing was so fantastic that I went. So I did Eternity of Horror first, and then Descent into Darkness is the prequel, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to go back down the rabbit hole. I did Prey Drive by Jen Stevens. Now that one, like these are my really, like the ones that I absolutely loved. That one, the twist at the ending, I was like, oh shit. It was out of left field. Didn't see it coming. I was like, Stalker, Serial Unaliver again. There's a pattern here, right, guys? I have a pattern.
You have a type.
I have a type. And yeah, but the twist at the end just came out of like way out of left field. And I was like, whoa. I actually also did The Witch Slayer by Opal Rain. So,
Okay.
Yeah, which was fantastic. Opal's work is amazing, especially if you like monster smut. Another monster smut one is Monster's Bride by K.R. Pierce. I did that one as well, which was phenomenal. And then my most recent one, which I can't stop talking about these authors, is Mischievous Lies. That's T.L. Smith and Kaya Carrington Russell. I got the arc from that because I met them at Babe, and Kaya was lovely, and she was like, you know, you should be on the arc team. I'm like, I tried and I missed the boat. Yeah, because they put up a post and I saw it like a day later. It closed and I saw it the next day and I was like, what do you mean? Anyway, yeah, so when I met them at Babe, I told them and she was like, it's all right, here you go. You can be part of our team. Yeah, and I was like, she's like a little happy dance. And she messages me. She's like, here you go, babe. Here's the book. And I was like, I love you. That was amazing. So yeah, they're my top ones that I've done recently.
I feel like you listed all the ones you've done.
Oh no, man. I went through my Kindle the other night and I was like, damn. I met Mary Bright at Babe and I arc read about 5 of her books. She's walked in and she's like, oh, hi, I'm Mary Bright. And I was like, I know that name. And I'd never seen her face. And I went onto my Kindle and I was like, oh my God, I've arced for like 5 of your books. Yeah, I've got heaps of arcs on my Kindle.
Alrighty then. When I was arcing a lot back in 2010, I did so many books I couldn't even tell you. And that was 15 years ago. So there's no way I'm going to remember them all.
That was, so I went back through my Kindle. I'll be completely honest with everyone. Claiming His Bunny was, I've never forgotten about it. I think about that at least once a week because it was that good. No, it was really good.
Yeah, I believe you.
She's got another one coming out and I'm desperate. I've already applied for that arc.
I'm sure you'll get it since you did the first one.
Then obviously Mischievous Lies, Monster's Bride, and the 2 from No Eternity are ones, and Delectable Soul. They're ones that have stuck with me as arcs that I've done because a lot of these haven't taken, like they've got a following, but it's not like Caught Up or Haunting and Hunting Adeline and stuff. They didn't just take off. I kind of go, these are the ones that you should really check out because they are so good. And I don't understand why they haven't because they're amazing. But not all of the ones I've done.
All right. Any that you are currently reading at the minute?
Yes. So I have Ruthless Devotion that I'm doing currently by Rebecca F. Kenny. I'm doing that on NetGalley because it's a Wuthering Heights retelling.
Of course you would.
Yeah, I had to get in on that. Shay put me up to it. She's like, hey, did you see that Ruthless Devotion is an open arc for Rebecca F. Kenny? And I went, nope, but thank you.
I think I'll snatch that.
I will do that one, which actually releases next week. And then I have Wickedly Ever After by Lee Fryer. which is a take on fairy tales. It is the Good Witch of the North and the Wicked Witch of the West, but the Wicked Witch of the West is a man.
Of course he is.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they're not. So these guys are nearly 1,000 years old. They're immortal. They've been at war with each other for most of their lives, like a prank war.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But their whole world depends on this magical spell that was the happily ever after spell. So both of them have been charged with making sure that it stays the course, yet their pranks are slowly getting just that wee bit nastier. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's actually really good. What about you? You got any?
Yes. So currently I'm beta reading Infernal Passions by Lucy Fur. This is the one that she gave me a 2-sentence synopsis, and I was like, I was
there. I remember.
I need that right now. I'm having the best time with it. It's essentially an urban fantasy where Lilith and Lucifer are the good guys and Adam and Eve are the baddies. Lilith and Lucifer have been cast out of Eden, and then centuries later, they are in corporeal form, right? So they live in the world. Lucius is a wealthy billionaire who runs a club of debauchery for supernaturals and brave humans. And one night, after not seeing her since she was cast out of Eden, Lilith walks in. And it's steamy. I also love that Adam in this world is a politician.
Well, that tracks, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? I can't say a whole lot more, but I will say it is feminine rage at its fucking best, man.
Well, if she needs an arc reader, you would put my name down, right?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. That sounds amazing. So, yes, when she decides that she's ready to put it out, she wants arc readers, be like, hey, Ro wants a copy, please.
Yes.
I will take it.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
It's really great. And I love the way that she's written Lilith because first, he's a bit afraid of her.
I love those women. I love those FMCs.
It's that dynamic where he's kind of afraid of her, but also super proud of her and wants her to be her own woman.
I love those ones.
Yeah. He's like the supportive, do your thing, boo.
Yeah. You do you, boo. I'll stand here being your cheer squad. Yeah. I love those ones.
Yes.
I put my hand up for the arc.
I'll let her know you said so.
Anything else?
No, not at the minute. Like I said, like these days, I'm a one arc or better read at a time. Shut up.
Not really the white cheese one? Too much. Can't handle it all.
I can't.
Clutching your pearls going, no, it's just too many.
I
Oh my God. All right. We're at that time again. We all like our books spicy and our coffee icy. So what better way to enjoy that arc or beta read than to have an iced coffee that has that little bit of extra kick? Today's drink is called a summer Irish coffee, and here's what you'll need. I know it's winter over in Australia, but summer over on the other side of the world. So you're going to need 2 ounces of Irish whiskey, 2 ounces of coffee liqueur, a half a cup of vanilla ice cream, 2 cups of ice cubes, and 4 ounces of rich chilled coffee. Now you're going to put all these ingredients into a blender and run until the mixture is the consistency of a thin milkshake. Serve it in a rocks glass or a footed Irish coffee glass, one of those long, like it's like a short stem but long top, and garnish with a dusting of coffee grounds.
It looks really, really good.
Doesn't it look yummy? You're not even here for bloody summer, you bitch. Well, I will have one and I'll be like...
And I'll be having all the warm drinks.
You'll be sitting there going, look at my pumpkin spice latte. And I'll be like, screw you, bitch.
Well, you have access to pumpkin spice lattes now because there is a Starbucks here now.
Yes, but it's autumn it was autumn and they didn't have anything, did they?
But
So if they don't
also,
have it in October, I'm going to be really mad.
you do understand that I am living a year of eternal winter this year, which sucks balls.
Ew, yuck.
Yeah.
That's kind of sucky.
But on the plus side, my parents live in the deep south, so shouldn't be too terrible.
But they haven't realized Laura's going home this year for a bit.
Yeah, for a bit. And you'll see me in a different location. We'll still be podcasting.
And we'll still be podcasting, but it'll be different times. It'll be like me going, what time am I going to be up?
Well, we can rotate. It's fine. All right. Huge thank you to all the bibliomaniacs out there listening. Please stop by our Instagram page, The Plot with a Twist, and check out the link tree in our bio where you can find links to us across the internet, including all of our social media and most recently our video episodes on YouTube and Spotify, website, shop, Facebook group. Give us a like or a follow so that you can stay up to date with episode releases and product launches from our book merch shop. We appreciate your support from the bottom of our hearts. Every little bit counts. Tune in next week for another all new bookish episode full of magic, mayhem, and maybe just a little bit of smut. Until then, keep reading.